Hi everybody, welcome back to Chiquel's YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about styling your wigs and sort of different things that you might need to think about if styling your wig is something that you want to start to do a little bit more of. But before I do that, I wanted to make sure to remind you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but when I first started to wear wigs, way back in 2011, I think it was. Yeah, it was 2011. I bought one wig and I used that one wig and I wore it every single day and I wore it the exact same way. It was just like a longer shoulder length bob-ish wig. And I wore it the same way every day because I did not know that I could touch it and do things to it and style it and make it look kind of different than what I was actually wearing it as. And so my initial wig wearing experience was really kind of boring. I also didn't realize that there were different kinds of caps out there for wigs and that maybe the particular wig I had was not the best cap for styling anyways. So today I wanted to talk about the fact that yes, you can style your wigs differently. You can do fun things with them, but you might need to pay a little bit more attention to the type of cap you have when styling, or if you want to do certain styles on it, because the type of cap you have does matter. Okay, I want to start off with our basic cap. So to demonstrate this, I'm using the wig called Jackson, and Jackson has a basic cap, meaning it's all machine made. There's no hand-tied components on this. It's just a permatease top, open wefting, even your standard ear tabs and nape, and there's no lace front at all. So this basic cap is gonna be like your least expensive type of a cap, and it's gonna be your least natural looking. Oh my gosh. This is a lot right now. Let me figure this out for a second. Okay, so here's Jackson. Jackson is not going to look as natural as you want it to. This is the type of wig that I had in the very beginning of my wig wearing journey. It was just a basic cap. It wasn't Jackson. It was similar to this though, in the sense that there was no lace front. It was permatease on top. It was sort of a longer bob, and that's kind of it. And that's how I wore my hair all the time. Now, when you have a basic cap like this, you might be thinking like, oh, there's not really a lot I can do. And I mean, you're not wrong. There's definitely things you cannot do in terms of styling a wig, but there are things you can do as well. So I wanted to show you some things just to be mindful of when you're styling a basic cap, kind of like Jackson here. So with a cap like this, the thing that you need to be the most mindful of is your front, because clearly this is not natural. Clearly it should not be worn back like this. So whenever you are styling a basic cap that has no lace front, you cannot be pulling it back off your face, because that will be the dead giveaway that you are wearing a wig, because anything that looks like this is just not, it's not natural. I mean, you can do it like this, of course. I'm not going to judge you. Go for it. If that's how you feel comfortable, then do it. But if you want it to look a little bit more natural, I suggest not to. So in order to style anything back and away from your face on a basic cap, you need to keep some fibers in front, and that's going to help disguise your hairline so that it doesn't get pulled back and seen. Okay, so on a cap like this, you can absolutely still do ponytails. Oh, I still have the tag on this since it's not officially mine. You can still do ponytails on wigs like this. I would not suggest high ponytails, but you can do low ponytails or like mid ponytails, and it's still gonna look absolutely adorable. So let me show you what I'm doing here. Whenever I style any wig, not even just basic caps like this tag is gonna be the death of me. Okay, I always make sure that I am keeping hair over top of my ears. And the reason that I'm keeping hair over top of my ears is because for someone like me who does not have any of my own bio hair, if I were to pull it back, then you can see that I don't have any hair growing here, which is usually a spot where people have hair. You can see that I don't have any hairline. So, and you can also sort of see the ear tab. So by keeping the hair over top of my ear, that's just gonna help disguise that a bit more. as well as, of course, like I mentioned, keeping this hair in front of your face. When you're putting it in a ponytail, let me show you what I generally do. When I just pull it back like this, you can see the line at the back where the hairline is at your nape. So what I always do is I put it in a ponytail. Once it's in a ponytail, yes, you can still see it, but then you need to pull down your nape. So pull your nape down and then almost bubble out the hair so that it covers the back. So then suddenly you don't see any of your hairline at the back. And then you have a super cute little ponytail. And all of a sudden this basic cap with no lace front that was just, you know, down in a bob suddenly is a lot more fun. And it doesn't, I don't think that it looks too wiggy looking like this. I think it looks pretty cute. So this can be a really fun way to just kind of spice up your life with your wigs, because wearing your hair in the exact same way all the time kind of gets a little bit boring. Okay, we're back to square one here. Back to having it down. Another thing you can do, again, keeping this hair in front, is pulling it into a half up, half down. That's another really easy thing to do. Now, this is when I'm going to start talking about the wefting. So the wefting on your cap is this part here, all of the rows. And these, you can stick your fingers through them. And if you pull back too much hair and aren't careful, you're gonna expose the wefting and you're gonna be able to see through to your scalp. So if I pull this back in a half up, half down, I could potentially have something that looks like this. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I feel a bunch of wefting there. And you're probably not gonna want that exposed. So whenever you're doing something like a half up, half down, you need to make sure that you're covering up the wefting by pulling the fibers down a bit to sort of drape down and over, so that when you are doing your style, that's not exposed. So now I have a cute little half up, half down. And the wefting is not going to be showing. And of course, keeping my hair in the front to cover up my lack of a natural hairline here. Okay, so now that we've talked a little bit about styling basic caps, I want to kind of go to the next step up, which would be styling caps that have a lace front and maybe a monofilament top, but still with wefting. So I'm going to show this on the wig called Elle, E-L-L-E, by Jon Renau. I'll put this on. So you're gonna find that this one is gonna be a little bit more easy to style because you have this natural part now and you have this whole section on the top that's gonna allow you to part it in different ways, which is gonna give you more options. Okay, so in comparison to Jackson, which I was just wearing in that basic cap, this one does have a lace front. So I can pull this back off my face and it's gonna look like it's growing out of my scalp. So lace fronts are extremely ideal if you want that natural looking hairline at the front. Now this one is going to look quite natural because the fibers here are a light color. This is a gray color. It's in the color called Mist. And whenever you have knotting on your lace in a lighter color, such as this or a blonde or something, the knotting is not going to be as visible. If you have a darker color like a brown or a black or like a darker blonde, you're going to be able to see the knotting a lot more easily. But regardless, lace fronts in general are just going to be a little bit easier to style. So on a piece like this, I am able to pull this right off my face, and I don't necessarily need those pieces in the front to help disguise my hairline. However, that being said, I am someone who is a little bit bothered personally by the perfection of these hairlines. And by that, I mean that the hairlines are almost too rounded and they look too perfect. And when they're too perfect, to me, that also doesn't quite look as realistic. And it looks a little fishy, like something's going on there. Why does she have such a perfect hairline? So I always do the same thing on even my lace front wigs. I always pull hair in front to help disguise that hairline still, even though it's a lace front. But even doing so, it's still gonna look a lot more natural. I don't feel the need to pull as much hair forward as I would on a basic cap. I just pull like little strands, almost to give like a natural, feminine, dainty little hair piece look. Okay, so on a piece like this, I'm gonna pull it back. I'll do another half up, half down here. But now again, since this one is an open wefted cap, I still have to be careful about exposing the wefting when I am pulling it back into the half up, half down. So remember, I would need to drape some of that hair or the fibers over top of the wefting so that you don't see that wefting. But just as simple as that, you suddenly have a half up, half down. That's different than your standard, ordinary hair that's down. All right, and look how cute she is like this. I love this. I actually really love this wig. If you're looking for a standard, low density, mid-length bob with a little bit of style to it, Elle is a really great choice. I love it. It's got that full mono top, it's got that lace front, and it's a pretty light density for the most part, and there's like no permatease in here. So this is a really great one. Okay, and let me show you a quick little, put it up in like a claw do. Something I recommend with styling wigs back and up and out of your face is I always prefer wigs that have some shorter layers in the front. When they have shorter layers in the front, that sort of shape your face like this one, it makes the ability to style just a little bit more seamless, natural, and easier. I find if you have a wig where the pieces in the front are too long, then it just looks long and droopy, and I don't find it looks as good. But these shorter face framing layers, or like a curtain bang, and I mean, best of all would be to have an actual bang, because then you don't even need to worry about your hairline, of course. But if you're not into the bangs, then finding face framing layers, curtain bangs, something like that to help frame your face so it's not so long and droopy in the front, it makes styling a little bit easier and natural. Okay, I've put this back into a claw, and same thing, like I was mentioning in the ponytail earlier, always pull down some hairs in the back so that it's not exposing the nape of your wig. I'm not sure what it looks like, but hopefully it's okay. I didn't do a great job on this side. It's feeling a bit loose, but anyways, I love how glamorous you can look all of a sudden in a claw. Definitely could have done a better job on that one. But claws are so good for making a quick and glamorous look. And I will even put this back into a quick ponytail. Again, with my ponytails, how I keep them over top of my ears. Pull out some pieces in the front to hide and disguise the perfect hairline. Put it in your ponytail, tighten it, and then pull down the nape. And then also, I do a little bit of sprucing up around the ears so it's not so tight against my ears, and it looks a bit silly when it's too tight. So I find that making your ponytails, making any style you have a little bit imperfect is gonna help make it natural. So easy peasy, I suddenly have a ponytail, and it was so simple. Okay, now if you're thinking still like, oh, I'm having a hard time styling these caps that are wefted, I don't like having to hide the wefting, it's tricky. If you're wanting something that's even more easy, excuse me, I was gonna hiccup, something that's even more easy to style, and that just honestly is gonna make your life so wonderful in so many ways, not even for styling, but just for the whole wig wearing experience, you need to try hand-tied caps. Fully hand-tied caps are your styling dream because they can be parted all over the place. They can be pulled back while still maintaining a bit of an illusion of scalp. All the hair can just go anywhere it wants, and it's just a lot easier to work with. So this one here is called Dalgona 16 hand-tied version by Belle Tress. And This one is completely hand tied, no wefting, so no rows of hair. It's all just hand sewn onto this material, stretchy material. Plus it has a full monofilament top, so you can part it anywhere you want on top. Plus it has ear to ear lace. So that means you can even pull this behind your ear and it's still gonna look like it has the illusion of a hairline. So a fully hand-tied cap, and especially one with ear-to-ear lace, is gonna give you the stars in the moon when it comes to styling. So if I were doing a half up, half down with this one, I don't have to worry about exposing my wefting. I can pull this in a half up, half down, and there will not be any wefts showing at all. So let me do that one quickly for you. Now, even with ones like this, I personally still feel like the hairline is a little too perfect. So I still personally always leave some hair in front. And again, with this is one that has shorter layers in the front. So it's not gonna be long and droopy if I leave some out. Again, I much prefer when we don't have long droopy pieces in the front, but that's just a personal opinion. If you like the long droopies, then go for it. I won't stop you. Okay, quick half up, half down. And I don't need to worry too much about covering up any of that because there's no wefting to be exposed. Now with a monofilament top like this, even with Elle on my last one, you can switch your parting around. You could part over on this side. And with a lace front that goes ear to ear like this, you could even do something like part it over here and pull this side completely off your face and have a cool little clip coming back here. One side is like sleek and cool with a clip, and then this one is flopped over. This is parted on the wrong side of my head. I'm not a right part person, but that's okay. You get the idea. So there are a lot of options with having this lace front going to your ear. Okay, I know I keep talking about the fact that I like to keep these pieces in front here, but I want to show you what I mean and like why I prefer it. Because if I were to completely pull this up and back off my face, I think you can probably tell already. Like if this was your own bio hair growing out of your head, you would be able to do a slick back ponytail like this and you'd be fine. But if I do it with my wig, it's doable, you know, you can do it, but doesn't it look a bit odd? Like it's too perfect. It's too rounded. It's just too perfect. So this is why I do not personally suggest pulling everything back in a way, because then you're gonna look a little something like this. So again, keeping pieces in front is gonna soften it up and it's gonna make it not so perfect. And look, all of a sudden, I can have this half up, half down, and look how much better that looks, just right away. I could work on it, but that was just a quick way to make it a lot better. But you guys, I just wanted this video to serve as a little bit of inspiration to make you see that no matter the kind of wig you have, you can still do something to it. You can still make it fun and different than what it usually is. I'm just pulling this back into a messy bun right now. Again, making your style imperfect is what's gonna give you a natural look. Like I did not try hard on this and already it's kind of cute. I just had it flopped over and it's in a little bun, have a piece out and grab more hairs and it works, right? So if you have a wig in your closet that you've pushed back there and you're like, I just can't work with this, bring it back out and try doing something to it. Try making it a little bit different. Try styling it. Try doing something, because chances are you might be able to spark a little bit of joy somewhere in there. Actually, out of all the styles I've done for you in this video, I think this one is my favorite, which is weird because I literally was just like, whoa. So funny. I don't know. This one is like the most natural looking style. But of course, again, this is going to be the most natural looking cap too. There's no permatease on this. There's no, what can I talk? There's no wefting on this. It's all hand tied everywhere possible. This is like the best of the best kind of a cap. So if you want to do all of the styles of your dreams, hand tied cap is your best bet. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that, you guys. But if there's any wig that I was showing you today that you're like, hey, that kind of looks like a nice one, I wanna try that, then make sure you find it on our website at chiquel.com, chiquel.ca if you're in Canada, or chiquel.com.au if you are in the United States. And with that, I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and bye.